Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever. Team Matchmaker is released. The beta has been out for a while, since I believe Christmas Day, maybe Christmas Eve, and it's gone very well. And now we have the official release with the 1.4 version of Downlord's client. Get that update and you can queue up for some 2 versus 2s, and also queue the 1v1 ladder at the same time. So to make a little announcement here, we're gonna, we've got a Team Matchmaker game provided to me, and here are the players. So on the right side we have Buff Mantis, player formerly known as Mad Mozart, and many other names as well, but mainly known as Mad Mozart, or just Mozart. And this is Sad Abomination, aka Washy, aka Brainwashed. May have been the original name, Brainwashed. So that's the right side team. On the left side we have the Wheelie, that's Farms. Everyone's got a different name these days. FTX, however, is just FTX. That's just who he is. No rename for him. So the map, Forbidden Pass. It's not the ladder version. Important to note, I don't know why it's not the ladder version, but it isn't. This is sort of an incorrect version. Shouldn't really be on here. So some notable differences. You can walk on this thing. You can walk up that. That's not a cliff in this version. Same on the other side. You can still walk through here. And we can see some orders queued up there. Actually, looks like both ACUs are heading there, judging by the move orders. That's an ACU. That's an ACU. So we're going to meet in the middle here. Farms and Washy. I'm going to call them by the names I know them by, really. So just remember, this is Washy here. And although the ratings seem quite disparate, they are a little misleading, because these are, I believe these are global ratings. So yeah, we all know about global rating. It can't really be trusted too much. Now we will have a new Team Matchmaker rating. I'm wondering whether that's displayed in game or not with the full release. I think it probably is, but if not, that will be coming very soon. Anyway, that bomber, one of the bombs actually hit the Inti there, but it still dropped enough bombs to kill engineers, or at least one there. So the bomber from Mozart gets 2 kills and then dies, despite the fact that FTX has 3 Intis around, and he's actually going to lose one of them in a 2 versus 1. So not very good use of air by FTX. On the other side, I think I heard a bomber over on the other side of the map as well, but I don't see a wreck, so I could well be wrong. Oh no, that's a bomber. That's actually FTX's bomber, and I don't know if it's killed anything. Oh yeah, we have 1 dead engineer. So both the top players going quite heavy on air. On the bottom side, Washy has a bit of air. Farms also has air. I mean, everyone really should have air on this game, on this particular map. And you can see a lot of assistance for FTX, or Farms, sorry. We're going to get them mixed up, aren't we? But Farms did start with 2 land factories, so the assistance is coming later, and maybe he should have really aimed to have the Hydro already. If we look at the expansion, looks like the right side team are doing better on expansion. You can see here, this Hydro is super late, and there's only a single engineer building it, which is not great. Takes almost a minute and a half to build a Hydro with an engineer unassisted. and with no stalling, crucially. Also, we have mexes missing on the left side that are not missing on the right side as both ACUs arrive. And they have a perfectly offset fire cycle. I love it. Bam, 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 bam. Nice. It's the little things. I'm easily amused, guys. Okay. Take it easy. PD almost finished for FTX, but Mozy arrives just in time to deny it from ever being finished. And right now, FTX is... Well, actually, he does finish it, but it is going to die immediately. Haha, look at it. It had 1 HP there. And Mozy even steals most of the reclaim, or maybe half the reclaim there, which is quite a nice move by him. And so FTX did not get what he wanted and really wasted a couple hundred mass there at least on that PD. So the spam's coming. It looks like Mozart has 5 inties, 6 inties in the area. Where is FTX's Air Force? He has a single intie now. So Air completely lost on the top side to Mozy, and Mozy is just piling on the pressure. Now he doesn't have many units in support, but neither does FTX, looking relatively similar in terms of unit counts. Also interesting that the ACUs have met on both sides but in different positions. So on this side, Washy has managed to take this expansion with no commander, which is quite a big deal. Also 3 bombers from Farms. So Farms winning air in the bottom, Mozart winning air on the top, and really air is the main way that you can have some serious team play on this map in the first few minutes. So it's sort of disappointing that they're still playing in a sort of 1v1 style, even though the air is lost. Well, it's separate on both sides. I mean, Mozy is now using air to produce a Jester. Farms inties are still on the bottom. It looks like they're now moving towards the top, but it may be too late already. FTX is shooting the commander, which doesn't seem like a good idea. I mean, well, okay, I can see why he's doing it now is because he's certainly going to die and he wants to get a draw. However, beforehand I hope he was shooting units, but I'm not sure that he was. Looks like Mozy will be very close to death here. 1600 HP. He actually got a veterancy and should be able to survive. Did Mozy lose some of his air force there in the explosion? I'm not sure, but this is a 2v2 team matchmaker and it has full share because, well, of course it has full share. All 2v2 tournaments have had full share. All the ones in the past few years anyway. Just so that the game doesn't immediately end once one player dies. And look at this, Farms going straight for the commander with 4 bombers doing massive damages as Mozy did not dodge at all. That means he took about 350 damage per bomb, or per bomber I should say, and there you can see he dodges and manages to avoid virtually all the damage. Kills every bomber except one. The last bomber will not even get another pass. It dies to the anti-air. The tracer already with 162 mass killed. Also a little bit of mass deposited around Mozy, and Mozy is now thinking maybe, well, what he should do probably right now is get a PD. There are a lot of units on this side, huge amount of factories and farms. Whoa, okay, he must be making an AC upgrade or what exactly is... Okay, there we go. T2 air is what's hogging all of his power. This fight looks very, very bad for Farms, so he retreats away, saves most of his units there. And he's quite healthy with his commander HP. Meanwhile, Washy just kind of chilling. He's actually made T2 land, and he's going to be making some T1 drops and also sending Wagners through the lake here, and it's going to be very annoying to deal with because you can see there's going to be production here, there's going to be production here. So the whole middle of the map has 0 factories. Now, Farms has done quite nicely having some engineers scattered around. But once the Wagners come up here and start sniping mass extractors, it could take a while for those mass extractors to be rebuilt, and the Wagners will probably have to be killed by air bombers, or T2 air gunships. Oh, that was a very, that just shows the power of a UAF bomber right there. Killed all of the units immediately. Now if they had dodged, if they had spread out a little bit, he definitely could have killed all the mass extractors, or at least 2 or 3, and maybe some radars, maybe been a bit more annoying, but Washy was not paying attention after the drop landed. So Farms is probably going to be making a T2P gen. He is, and he's making Janus. Washy is in the water upgrading the gun, I believe. And so is Mozy at the exact same time. And they actually have enough power between them. What they're lacking is mass. Mozy does have a T2 max, which is quite nice. Making energy storage, that's definitely going to chew into his mass income. And he's also making a lot of anti-air. Now, how much anti-air can he make before he really suffers in terms of land? Now, he's been pretty fortunate, honestly, to be able to hold a lot of these mexes without needing his ACU or really having to defend with units. But there's a huge army building here. And looks like both their guns will probably finish at the same time. Yes, actually, Mozy's going for stealth. Washy has the gun. And the Janus are approaching the base and dropping significant payload on important P-gens. Anti-air being constructed in the base. There's 2 up now, but that Janus got some drops away. There goes an Inti shot out of the sky. Radar going up, and there's no air for Mozy whatsoever. Farms is faced with a gun commander, and he is going to have to retreat immediately and just escape. He has to survive. He probably needs to head into the water where he's going to be very safe, I would say. The Wagners are doing damage, and the Janus are on the top side bombing the Mantis. Look at all the dead Mantis here. It's a huge amount of dead Mantis. 28 kills on that Janus. Now it will go down. 29 kills. There it goes. But Mozy can't stop this army. I don't believe that he can. Now at least he has stealth, which means he can hide in the water quite nicely. The Wagners are doing some nice damage. Killing that T2 Raider would be very pleasant. But the gunships are the perfect tool for dealing with them. They have the speed and the damage and the consistent damage. Washy's bringing quite a lot of flak with him. Now, I would be sending some flak Mozy's way as well. Mozy does not have access to T2 land. So I definitely think it would be a good idea. You know, team play. Get some flak up to Mozy. Don't be making any T2 land units really for a while that aren't flak. And he has 7 flak, so Washy knows what's up. He also has extra build power in air factories. Has a T2 max. So not doing too poorly now. But actually doesn't have any flak with him right now. Where's the flak? Oh, it's slightly far behind now. It's gonna catch up to him. It should be okay. And he has a few anti-airs which are actually tanking a lot of, well, taking a lot of fire from the gunships. That's a lot of Janus though. First flak may get sniped by gunships. Washy does not have stealth, so if he dips into the water, he will still be spotted by sonar, which is could be quite crucial. Also, well, if he had stealth anyway, the ACU with its Omni sensor would be able to spot him. Flak being Janus. It's very... Oh, nice overcharge. ACU comes out of the water, overcharges a flak, and now takes some few shots from the enemy ACU and then dips back into the water. This flak is going to go down. And if this... this flak may also go down. It's 100 HP. Has 760 mass killed. Now that is a huge amount of mass killed. Look at how much this thing costs. 160 mass. Very, very cheap and extremely effective T2 unit there. So the fact that it has almost 800 mass killed in air units, which are obviously more more power intensive than they are mass, is quite significant. Now it has 1200. It's fully vetted, and although it was 100 HP, it's now... Oh my god, it just got owned. There's just too many Janus. 5 Janus at once. And another flak may get overcharged. Here comes Farm's ACU. Oh, he just overcharged the ground. He had auto OC on. Like a big noob, and the flaks... there's just not... the flaks are just not surviving. There's too many Janus. 9 Janus in the air now. ACU dips into the water, but will still be getting hit by, although you can't see the fire, it is damaging you. It does have AoE. You can see some sort of discoloration there. That's all you get. There's no actual fire on the water. Washy comes in with his small air force that he has rebuilt and tries to snipe as many Janus as he can. However, the Janus just decide to, you know, close their wings up and start firing as fighters. Look at this, 26 kills, 3 vets, 2500 mass killed. And an entire army has just disappeared from the field. Farms looked like he was following Washy there for a moment, but he actually doesn't need to follow this ACU because, again, he has sonar from the torpedoes, and he will simply torpedo Washy unless he can get around here to the water. Now the torps are going to have a really, well, they're not going to be able to attack the ACU from this side because the cliff is going to block some of the torps. But from other angles, he is not going to survive. And he's actually out. Is he out of the water? No, he's not. He almost is. I think he really needs to... Well, damned if you do, damned if you don't. If he comes out of the water, there are way, way, way too many Janus here. He's trying his best to dodge with the flak, but... Again, how many Janus can you dodge? Once there's 10 of them, it's pretty difficult. And even with their low initial damage, when there's 10 of them, it's not easy to... survive. Washy now tries to make stealth. It's a bit late. He's actually getting pinged from this angle, and he goes down. Does Farms have any inties? Did he just lose a lot of inties there? Seems like he has only Janus and Torps. So now we have Mozy has T2 land of his own. Doesn't have T2 gen. He has a lot of hoplites. Now, I don't know why you would make so many hoplites. Really, I don't know what Mozy... Mozy didn't really help too much against the Janus menace. And now he is going to be the new victim of it, really. I mean, he's got 9 inties. There are more Janus than he has inties. He does have... How many flaks? He has 10 flaks. I didn't click on the flaks. 10 flaks, but most of them are on the bottom side. ACU is going to dip into the water. I thought he had stealth. Maybe he just started to construct stealth and then cancelled it, I guess. It's the only explanation I have. Bit of a lack of micro here, but still, even with the lack of micro, this is going to be a good fight for sure. He just got quite a few hoplites here. Okay, it's going to turn into a bad fight because, well, the Janus have arrived. And there goes that. Oh my god. And the other flag flies into the nape. Just drives into the napalm. And both flak die, even though only one was actually targeted there. Here come the inties. The Janus will beat that Air Force easily. So Farms just has to start microing the Janus to start shooting the inties. And guess what? Look, all the inties got absolutely vaporized. Flak's firing, and once again it gets melted as though it were on the face of the sun there. Actually killed my FPS. Zooming into that. And yes, those pigeons are rather close together. I'm imagining a certain number of Janus just flying in this angle, firing in between and killing both of them. 3 Janus can kill 2 pigeons easily. We have a lot more than 3 Janus. I don't think you even need to line anything up. Once you have 20 Janus, you can just shift click the entire base, press your shift G, and whoa, where is he? He's just dropping on the water. Mozy's too deep. Too deep. And he has stealth. So the question is, how do you find the commander, I guess, because if you can find him, the game will end rapidly. If you can't find him, then you feel like Mozy should be able to, you know, he might have enough time to actually hold on. He has superior map control. He has more T2 mexes. He has T2 land. And quite a significant amount of production. I mean, looks like Farms, I don't know, Farms actually has a few T2 mexes up here. He's got 3 there and 1 here, so T2 mex count is not so different, but the map control has been in the right side's favor. But what are the Janus gonna do? We still have an absolute horde of Janus skulking around, flying around above the ACU. He can just hear those jets flying overhead. A lot of torpedo bombers right next to him, as well. As you can see, the sonar does not see the stealth commander. One way you could see him would be to create a power stall, because the stealth does cost you power. Drains 50 power per second. 26 flak. Why are they not next to the commander though? I mean, we have a lot at the front here. 7. That's might be enough. 7 is actually enough here, I would say, at the front line, and the rest should be maybe right next to the commander, in my humble opinion. Bit of a power stall, or mass stall, sorry, bit of a dead T2 radar, quite sadly. And another Air Force has just been wiped by this horde of Janus. 18 Janus now. Yeah, they just cleaned up another force of inties from Mozy. You need to be very patient once you've lost air. You absolutely have to build up significant numbers before you can fight again. Otherwise, you keep taking bad fights like that, you will never win air back. And we're kind of looking like that. I wish Farms would build some air staging. His base in here, this is his HQ actually. I mean, there's no defenses whatsoever. I don't know what's happening here, but he's not been constructing any land units actually. He's just been constructing Janus. And he's going to lose his base now. T2 Pigeon going to go down, which is quite important. He doesn't have a second one. There's air staging, but it hasn't been used properly, I guess. But he has built it at least. That's, you know, step 2. And he has a transport for his commander. His commander has no upgrades whatsoever. And I have a feeling that he might be heading towards Mozy's commander. There's a ping, probably from FTX. That was a big plosive there. Apologies. I don't have a pop filter. And let's take a look. Now the ACU's Omni is of course still active in a transport. Here the Janus just taking out a oh, he has to drop as inties come in after the transport, but that's just a perfect opportunity for farms to kill all of the inties. His entire base is now dying. The bottom is dead. What remains here is also dead. He's not even really constructing anything because there's no HQ anymore. He gets back in the transport. He actually has a second transport, which is interesting. I wouldn't waste that. But look, he's searching for the commander. Where is the enemy commander? Is he even still in the water? He could be long gone. Now the Janus do have some that's an air unit. He drops to the bottom. He doesn't see anything. Giving an old XD because he still does not see the commander. Can he find him? Another Air Force comes in just to get wiped. I mean, look. Well, I mean, you know, if you have a huge Air Force and your entire base is dead, the only place you can reliably survive is in the air, in a transport. And that's a commander. That has got to be a commander. It's running fast away. If it was just a Wagner, I don't think it would be running away immediately. That's so many flak around, though. There's the commander. Did the torps drop? Well, some of them may have. He's lost 2,500 HP. Here comes the Janus. Mozy taking huge damage. He's still under the fire, and the torpedoes come in. The torpedoes come in and kill him. No way. Oh my god, and Farms is right there next to him to enjoy the whole thing from the front row seat. Well, that's quite an end to a game, and a very nice finish by Farms. I mean, FTX died quite early on. Farms was doing pretty well, but it certainly was, well, it was just all about the Janus, wasn't it? He went all in on the Janus at some point, kept winning really good air fights, and then decided, you know what, I won't make anything but Janus, and somehow it worked out. It really feels like it shouldn't have. Maybe a bit more patience in terms of fighting air from the right side team, and they would have been able to win it back and close the game out easily. But Farms with the very nice clutch. So guys, get the new client, search for some games on the 2v2 ladder, and let me know how you find it. Hopefully, well, soon we will have additional queues where there may be 3 versus 3 queues, 4 versus 4, but as of right now we have the regular ladder as always, 1 versus 1, and now we have 2v2 matchmaking. So that's huge new feature in FAF, and it's very exciting, a lot of fun to be had. Huge thanks to the devs, especially I think Askaholic did a massive amount of work. I think Sheikah is doing a huge amount of work on the Java client at the moment. He's the maintainer of the Java client. Brutus, as always, making things happen in all areas and keeping everything ticking over. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more FAF content. See you next time, guys.